Hey everybody, welcome to week 11. Today I am 11 weeks and 6 days. I know I'm mad late and I'm going to be 12 weeks tomorrow, so you have to forgive me. And sorry for the infinity loop going on in my glasses right now. I realize there's a reflection, but like I said last week, it's difficult for me to record when I can't see myself. I want to make sure I'm in frame and everything, and there's probably a vanity element too, but whatever. Let's see, I'm looking down at my paper. So, on the sick tip, I have a cough, but it's more during the day and when I'm either stressed or I've been really active, like it starts to happen and I just hack like a smoker. It's nasty. And also, I've noticed it's more so towards when I go to sleep at night that I just start coughing like crazy. It'll happen like a few coughs and then I'll go to sleep and then it'll wake me up. See, all I'm doing is talking and I've got that cough going. It's like a tickle in my throat and I can't get rid of it even when I drink water or something. So, yeah, I'm not having too much difficulty with mucus or anything anymore. Like, there's still some, but it's not horrible like it was. Next point, Medicaid recently said that we're covered for insurance, but that our share of the cost is like 2,000 some odd dollars. So obviously we don't have that kind of money because I'm not working right now. And even if I were, I don't know that I'd be able to bring in that much money for each appointment. Um, so right now, my husband and I are signing up on healthcare.gov to see if we can get covered under a different plan, a different insurance. Because I need to go to these appointments. I'm high risk, so I don't really have a choice. I have to go to my appointments. Um, and my medicine too. I have to be able to pay for my medicine, and if it would be covered under an insurance, that would be badass. So, speaking of medicine, I am on insulin, like I mentioned last week, and last week I said because we didn't have Medicaid, I've been doing self-pay, and I wasn't able to get my insulin because it's like 300 some odd dollars. Well, recently I went and saw my diabetes educator, and she um, provided me with some sample pens, some sample insulin pens, and some pen needles, and some alcohol wipes. And being as I've been able to take my insulin since this weekend, uh, my fasting blood sugars are really, really good. Like, they haven't been this low in years. And I've had diabetes since 2007, or at least that's when I was diagnosed with it. So this is really good news. So yeah. So I'm taking insulin and prenatals right now. Those are really my only meds. What else? And I'm so glad to be on the pens, you guys. I was on the pens with my son too. I feel so lucky to be on the pens instead of having to do a syringe. Because if I had to do a syringe, I don't know that I'd be able to stick myself every day. Because I'm not good with needles. Like, the little, like, millimeter needles are fine, like, that are on the pens. But those long ass syringe needles, you guys, I don't know that I could do it. Yeah, it's for the baby and everything, and for me after I'm done being pregnant, but it's a phobia for real. What else? So I had an appointment with my regular OB last week, and all he did was check my fundal height, which apparently was good because he didn't say anything about it, and then he checked baby's heartbeat through the Doppler. And let me tell you, at first, it was one of those things where baby is still so small that he couldn't find the heartbeat at first. So I'm freaking out internally, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I miscarried and I didn't know it, and blah blah blah. I lost the baby, all this stuff, and thankfully I didn't. He found the heartbeat and it was 174, so that's good. They have me scheduled to see their office again a month from now, or a month from when I had the appointment last week, but I think I'm going to transfer my care to my high risk doctor's office. So I'll just be seeing them instead of having to go to my like regular OB that I started the pregnancy with. I had another appointment yesterday with high risk, and um, The kids came with me, so it was rather chaotic. And I will say, though, that the appointment that I last had an ultrasound, my son was the only one with me, and he wasn't really interested in seeing the baby, and he was just kind of like, whatever. And he's 3, whatever. My daughter, however, since I've been telling her about the baby more and more, she was over the moon to see baby's heartbeat on the screen, and she was flipping out. She wanted to see the ultrasound picture over and over again, and it was just the cutest thing. Baby's heartbeat was 168. And the tech, she was super nice. She's really, really nice. She magnified the image like a lot from what it actually is, like from how small the baby is. And we were able to see baby's profile, so that was intense. Like, I looked at it and I'm like, from the side, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, from the side it looks like our daughter, but we're not finding out the sex this time, even though the closer and closer I get to like being able to find out the sex, I'm kind of wishing that I would, but I'm kind of just trying to keep that inside and be like, no, 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 you need to wait until you have the baby to find out what you're having. But baby looks good. The tech did tell me my doctor was going to look at the ultrasound pictures himself and tell me what was going on with baby, but I forgot he was supposed to do that, and he didn't do it himself. So I'm going to call them tomorrow and ask if anything was abnormal or whatever. Yeah, so at the appointment, basically what they're concerned about right now is just my diabetes and my blood sugar levels. So that's really all we went over. And also my hospital, they merged with a different hospital recently, and so they've had to update their computers. And so that's what they were doing all day yesterday. So I had to sit there and update my information, like how early were your pregnancies and how long have you had diabetes and blah, 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 blah. So that was annoying. But I mean, we were there for longer than we should have been because of that. But they have my information now, so I'm not tripping. And yeah, so we went to the secretary and I made future appointments to be seen. And the kids and I went home. And also, over the weekend, I was bleeding, and I hadn't had any pain because it happened while I was sleeping. And so I wore things all day long that day, and then the day after when I had my appointment. And they said it was basically just an irritated uterus type thing. Dang, my irritated uterus! Let's see. Oh, I think I mentioned last week my cravings. I made like a separate part 2 video or whatever. But my recent cravings have been rainbow sherbet. I know it's spelled sherbet, and I'm trying to say it correctly, but I grew up saying sherbet, so deal with it. Deli sandwiches, like the Market Fresh sandwiches, I think, kind of like those that Arby's makes. I've been craving those like really bad. And then donuts still, eggs. And what happened was, how I told you I was craving the McDonald's breakfast, the McMuffin? Well, recently, since I'm stupid and I don't really cook that much, or at least I'm not a good cook, I had to Google how to poach eggs because I figured out that's how McDonald's does their eggs. And I've been buying English muffins myself from the store, and just making them at home so I don't have to I don't have to go to McDonald's in the morning. Egg salad, which was a thing after we watched an episode of Bones, and Hodgins mentioned to Angela that he was going to get her a peanut butter and egg salad sandwich, and I looked at my husband and I'm like, that sounds good. You have to get me one of those. So, kind of ridiculous. Oh, and s'mores too, and we had some last night, so that was good. I'm at 9 minutes and 20 seconds now, so I'm going to make a part 2 to this. So, see you soon.